Hadith from the Prophet Muhammad instructs, whomever among you sees a wrong, let him change it with his hand. If he is not able, then with his tongue. If he is not able, then with his heart. So many of you are living this teaching in your own communities every day, joining your faith and your principles with the American principles that are consistent, actions that take and make life better for your families, for your neighbors, through service, advocacy work, and preaching peace. You deserve to have a president and an administration who will work with you and support you in these efforts.
Okay, so this is a very problematic hadith, but even if it wasn't problematic hadith, I would already be like, why are you quoting hadiths? Like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, let's forget about what the context of this hadith is for a second. If we ignore the problematic nature of this hadith, I'm triggered that he's quoting hadith the same way that I get triggered whenever he quotes the Bible, right? Like, this whole religious talk as a politician is very anti-secular, very, very anti-secular. Like, mixing religion with politics like that, it's just disgusting. This grosses me out. Like, shut the hell up. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're a goddamn president of a country that's supposed to be the symbol of secularism, and you're going to be quoting scripture from Christianity and Islam from the highest position of the land. Like, shut the fuck, like, seriously, shut the fuck up. So I hate this. I hate this so much, right? But I would hate it when he quoted, like, in his acceptance speech when he announced that he declared himself the winner. He was quoting the Bible as well. I mean, that's disgusting as well. Okay, but this hadith specifically is also a very bad hadith. Like, if beyond the fact that this is just horrible that he's quoting scripture. But I'll talk to you about this hadith that he's quoting. Marco saying, do you know that Biden is only the second Catholic president in the U.S.? I was surprised to find. Really? Kennedy? Really? So Kennedy was the only other one? Interesting. I did not know that. RT is saying this is a bit pandering, but I just didn't care. No, RT, like, I didn't mind the pandering that much, because the previous video was also pandering. A little bit of pandering is fine. You could pander without quoting scripture. Like, this is like so anti-secular to me. I don't know. This bugs me more than most other things. Having the person who's running for president and being the president-elect now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be quoting scripture as president as well, right? Like, putting religion at such. I mean, this is something that you don't see in France, right? This is like true secularism. I don't think Macron is going to come and like quote the Bible as president anytime, right? I don't think so. Is he gonna? No. Has he? I hope not. No, I don't think that's going to happen, right? So this is why countries like France appreciate secularism a lot more than countries like the United States. Like, this is the symbol of betraying secular values, right? Like, just go home. If you want to do scripture, if you want to enjoy religion, don't do it as a politician. Just do it as your private life. Like, like, this is like, you have to appreciate secular values. Like, this is such a betrayal. I mean, isn't this a violation of separation of church and state? I don't know. It should be if it's not. Yeah, so I was saying I'm using Biden's own words in him. Will you shut up, man? Yeah, shut up, man. All right, so, but again, this hadith is actually, here's the thing, like, he has an entire crew of advisors monitoring every single word he says. And nobody told him that this is not a good hadith, even?
Let him change it.
So what's the hadith? Whomever, okay, see, look at this. This is whomever. This is what the Muhammad said. The Prophet said, right? Whomever among you sees wrong.
Let him change it with his hand.
Let him change it with his hand. Do you guys know what this means? This is turning every individual into a police. This is the concept of Amr b'Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar. Amr b'Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar. Guys, if you speak Arabic, I'm saying the Persian version. Don't come at me for my accent. They're like, oh, Armin, look at Armin's Arabic. This is not Arabic. I'm saying it in the Persian with the Persian accent. Okay. Amr b'Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar is an Islamic concept which turns every single Muslim individual into a goddamn police that can't stop minding their own goddamn business and stop like interrupting your life and telling you what to do and what's wrong, and basically this is promoting vigilante justice. This is what this is doing. Okay. This is promoting vigilante justice. Look at this. I mean, even if you don't know the context of this hadith, this concept, Amr b'Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar, is the concept that is used like in a country like Iran to turn to encourage every citizen to participate in enforcing a police state where everybody could be the police. This is like fascism on steroids, where citizens are not worried just about the government, but every other citizen as a potential agent of the government, and gives them the full authority. If you're loyal to the government, you could basically use this religious concept to give yourself full authority to stop whoever is being non-Islamic. And again, when they say whomever, look, you see this, whomever among you sees wrong. Do you know what the wrong means here? Wrong means speaking against Islam. Wrong means violating Sharia law. That's what wrong means here. That's the hadith is deciding to quote. And again, I'm telling you, it's like whomever. Like look at the next sentence. Whomever among you sees wrong,
Let him change it.
let him change it with his hand. Do you know what that means? It means like not just words. Like if you see a woman not having her hijab properly, you don't have to you could fix this wrong beyond just telling her to fix her hijab. Hands can get involved. You could get handsy. You could get handsy in fixing this wrong. You could inflict force. This is like, you don't have to be the police. You don't have to be part of the government. Every single one of you could do this. And if the government wants to tell you, if you're living in an Islamic regime and the government was like, you don't have any business, this is a police matter, you don't have any business meddling in this. You could be like, what are you telling me? Are you being anti-Prophet Muhammad's hadith on me? You, the police, is telling me I don't have the authority to fix someone else's hijab? Well, guess what? Prophet Muhammad disagrees with you. Prophet Muhammad said every single one of us who sees it wrong, we get to fix this wrong, not with just mere words, but with our hands. Yeah, wrong means blasphemy. Yeah, wrong means like improper hijab. Your hair is showing. This gives you the authority to go up and, yeah, this will, oh my god. You slapped, oof, no. Oh my god. Soraya saying, with his hand means force them to do it. Exact physical force, exactly. Archie saying, now it sounds terrible. Yeah, this is the hadith he's quoting. This is the one that Biden decided to quote. Oh yes, this Amr b'Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar is oh, thank you so much, Deborah. This is the translation is enjoin the good and forbid the evil. Fatima, you're an ex-Muslim. Are you familiar with Amr b'Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar? Oh, Soha is an expert in Arabic. She's our Kowalski, okay? So Soha is saying this actually means you can use violence and terror, like beating up and beheading. Yes, that's the hadith that this guy is trying to quote. I'm pretty sure he had no idea about this hadith. He's like, hey, like they're like, oh my god, like this sounds good. Like let's just quote this. Like, I had no idea what they're. Oh my god, this is gonna be embarrassing.
With his hand. If he is not able than with his tongue.
Think about this. It didn't say do fix this with your tongue, and if you fail to do it, then use your hand. Okay? The promotion of using force and violence came first. Like, first try doing it with your hand, but if you're weak and if you can't use force, then try to use your tongue. If you're not able to, then try to fix this wrong with your tongue. You think the other way around would be nicer? Like, hey, tell them to fix their hijab, and if they don't listen, then beat the crap out of them. No. Use your hands first. Unless you can't, then use your tongue. Oh my god. Guys, what the hell is this? Kowalski analysis is that. Oh yeah, Katie saying, pretty sure Western Muslims who doesn't know shit about Islam picked out a verse for him to quote. Yes, Katie, that's actually, I think you're right. I think a Western Muslim who didn't know, I mean, to be fair, guys, most Muslims would read this and would not have no idea the context of this hadith. Most Muslims, they're like, oh yeah, here's a nice and lovely hadith. And they like a Western Muslim who doesn't know shit about Islam picked. I think so too. I think like they just relied. I think the advisors of Biden just relies on this Muslim activist, Western liberal Muslim activist that picked a hadith for them. Like, well, she's the authority in Islam, so this must be a good hadith to quote. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no. RT saying I'm pretty sure an advisor just told Biden and he didn't check. Well, of course Biden doesn't check anything, and I'm pretty sure they checked with an actual Muslim, like a part of this organization, who probably they did themselves understand the context of this hadith. Deborah saying hearing Biden say this makes me sick. Yes, me too. Deborah is, by the way, if you guys don't know, Deborah is an ex-Muslim. Serious ex-Muslim. More serious than me, ex-Muslim. AJ saying, I think his intentions were good, despite his ignorance. What is this? TNH? I don't know. I would have liked this if I didn't I would have liked this if I didn't know any better. Yes, but this is why you stay away from scripture completely. You just stay away from scripture. The best scripture is problematic. Even the best ones are problematic. I really don't think he understands what he's saying, to be honest. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree with it. So just stay away from scripture. You're legitimizing every time. Guys, you think this... Okay, so here's the thing. I agree with all of you guys, okay? As bad as Biden is when it comes to saying things that he doesn't understand, Obama, the professional speaker, the person that understands the nuances of most of the conversations that he have, the expert speaker, that books are written about how to speak like Obama. There are speech classes that use Obama as a role model on how to speak and how to inspire. Okay? With all the skills and all the nuance that Obama has, he quoted a Quranic verse that apparently was supposed to say killing is bad in Islam, that comes before the verse that tells you to crucify people and cut off their hands and feet. Okay? So if Obama is not beyond, this is just don't quote scripture. Just don't quote scripture. So I'm not saying, oh my God, Biden is uniquely bad or anything like that. Obama did that. Obama did it so much worse. I mean, this hadith that he's quoting is like telling you to go instead of minding your own business, go become a enforcer of Sharia law, giving every individual to get the license to do that. I mean, that's bad and all, but it's not as bad as, hey, whoever is spreading corruption on earth, go ahead and cut off their hands and feet and crucify them. Okay, so Obama did that. Obama brought up the verse that says, like, oh, look how peaceful Islam is, without bothering to check the next verse right after. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Katie's saying, wasn't that no killing verse just for the... Yes, the verse that Obama quoted was a specific verse in the Quran that was directed to Bani Israel, was specifically to the Jews, was specific a law that God had brought to the Jews, and the Jews failed to abide by that law. So you know how Muslims will tell you like, you have to read it in context. You have to understand that this is a law specifically for that people at a certain time. You're like, yeah, apparently the good rules were only for a specific. So if you actually look at the two verses, the verse that tells you that killing one man is like killing all mankind, which is also ridiculous, by the way. But that verse was Allah specifically talking to the Jews at a specific time. But the verse right after is for all men at all times, okay? The verse that came after was, hey, everybody now, if anybody is spreading corruption on earth, then crucify the motherfuckers, right? That's the verse after. So the one that is, hey, don't kill people, was for specific people at a specific time. The commandment of Allah to people now, crucify anybody who's spreading corruption. What is spreading corruption on earth? Yeah, there's no explanation of what it means to, So basically, I'm spreading corruption on earth according to the Quran, okay? So Quran says you should crucify me.